Hi guys, it's Jessica Wallace, your Santa Cruz Realtor. I'm here today with Matt Falconer with O2 Mortgage, and we are talking about the cost of waiting to buy. So there's a lot of things going on in the housing market with interest rates. Interest rates have gone up quite a bit this year, right?
That's right. They've already gone up 4 times this year. The Fed has raised the rates 4 times this year.
And next year, I heard they might get as high as like 6% by the end of 2019. Is that possible?
That's what the forecast is. And so the federal policy is that they're going to raise these rates a certain amount of times. They have an agenda that they're sticking to and a plan, and they want to raise rates substantially. And they've already done it a number of times, and they're planning on doing it again at least 1 more time this year and 3 more times next year.
Okay, so one thing we know for sure basically is interest rates are going to go up. So what does that do to your monthly payments? A lot of times when I'm talking to people that are getting ready to buy a home, they really want to know what their monthly payments are, because that's kind of where you really feel your finances, on your monthly bills.
Definitely.
So let's do an example of a house that you're going to buy for $800,000.
Right, so a house for $800,000 and assuming a 20% down payment makes a loan of $640,000. The rate moves up 0.5% is going to raise that person's payment, the monthly payment, by a little more than $200. And that's if they wait, say, 6 months or so. So if that person waits a full year and the rates go up by 0.5%, again, what they're forecasting, that person's mortgage payment is going to be close to $500 more per month than it is right now.
Wow.
So it's the cost of the money is so much cheaper now than it will be in a year.
Right.
Or even looking backwards when they started this whole agenda of raising rates, it's $500 more now than it was last year.
Right.
So people that have been waiting a year and maybe want to wait a year more, that could be, we're talking about $1,000 spread.
And home prices haven't gone down in the last year. So if you've waited, you've had an increase in home prices, an increase of interest rates. You're talking probably $1,000 extra a month, depending on the situation, if you have waited for, a year from now. But moving forward, I know a lot of people's concern is that it's possible that the housing prices might go down, and of course that is possible, but nobody's predicting a huge crash. And we've had a lot of appreciation. We're probably not going to see 6 to 12% appreciation rates next year in Santa Cruz County. It might be 3%, it might be 5%. But even if there's no appreciation at all, the cost of waiting to buy right now is huge with the interest rates. And let's say the prices do go down. You're buying a house for $800,000 and it goes down to $700,000.
Right.
What is that going to do?
Well, so the math we did before this video was that to get the same exact payment right now on an $800,000 house and the rates go up, you'd have to, the same house would have to be worth $700,000 in a year.
Yeah.
And that's a huge reduction in value.
That's over 12%.
Yeah, it's over 12%, dropping a normal house of $800,000 down to $700,000. It's on nobody's radar. We might see a little mini correction or not the super appreciation we've been seeing in years past. The forecasted best data we can get is it's supposed to go up by 3%. But again, if it goes flat or maybe ticks a tiny bit,
you're still going to be paying more.
You're still paying more money.
Yeah.
No one's predicting going off the cliff and dropping by 12.5%. That's just not realistic. That's the Great Recession kind of stuff, which just isn't going to happen.
So, I think if you are considering buying a home and you're going to be living there for at least 3 years, you really want to start getting your ducks in line and getting serious about the process now. I also think that winter is a great time to buy because anybody who has their house on the market right now, especially during the holidays, they're serious. They really do want to sell it. So you get a lot of less price fishing at that time of year.
We're seeing this as a big opportunity for our buyers because if you're out shopping for homes in the winter when a lot of other people aren't because of whatever the reasons, the holidays or the weather, whatever that is, the competition is less. And so the buyers are getting maybe a little bit of a better deal because they don't have to fight against other people, so they can get their offer accepted faster and not wait a year.
Exactly.
Plus, something we haven't talked about, and we'll keep it short, people, if they don't buy, they don't get the tax breaks. And what if it goes up? They miss out on appreciation and tax breaks.
Right.
Or what if your rent gets raised in that year? There's lots of other things that can happen in a year that are negative if you don't get into the housing market earlier than later.
And you might not have thought much about this or or sometimes people don't want to talk to a lender, but I always think that it's a good idea to get pre-qualified and just see where you're at. Maybe you're not ready to buy right now, maybe you're ready next year, and see how much money you need to save for your down payment. There's no harm in talking to a lender way sooner than later. You might find out that you are actually prepared and ready to buy now, and if you're not, you'll find out what you need to do in order to get there. So
yes. I think it's to be frank. I don't think anyone really loves talking to lenders. They want you. They want you to sell them a nice house.
But he's step one.
But step one is finding out what you can afford and make it a decision. Make an educated decision. There's no pressure to go buy a house. You're just getting information on making a better decision because you have the information earlier than later. So I say get the advice, consider it, and if it's a good option, go ahead and buy a house. If you feel like waiting and you want to take the risk, then wait.
Yeah.
And so
knowledge is power. You don't know unless you know. So call Matt, then call me, and we'll help you out.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Have a great day.